New measures aimed at reopening Hong Kong, in part at least. The government has shortened the COVID-19 quarantine period for all arrivals to 3 days in a hotel.
I
would like to announce new quarantine arrangements regarding overseas or Taiwan arrivals through the airport. The new policy will take effect this Friday on 12th of August. 7 days of hotel quarantine will be shortened to 3 days of hotel quarantine and 4 days of medical surveillance at home.
Inbound travellers, though, will still get a yellow code if they are uninfected, according to the new rules, for a Leave Home Safe risk exposure app, which would enable restricted activities in the community from days 4 to 7 after that period of hotel quarantine. They must test negative during days 4 to 7 to be allowed to go to work, to shop and take public transport, but they'll be banned during that time from high-risk areas. In addition to being a global financial hub, Hong Kong had been a major centre for tourism, but stringent COVID-19 restrictions have kept travellers away. The number of international visitor arrivals in Hong Kong was just 91,400 in 2021, compared to 56 million in the pre-pandemic year of 2019. Hong Kong has tipped back into technical recession, weighed down by weakening global trade and the city's continued strict coronavirus controls. Our Hong Kong correspondent Richard Kimber has more.
Hong Kong is taking a major step towards opening up fully again. It's cutting its 1 week of mandatory COVID-19 quarantine in a designated COVID-19 hotel down to 3 days. That's a much bigger cut than was expected. There had been talk of that coming down to 5 or possibly 4 days, but it's now down to just 3. After that 3-day period, new arrivals will be allowed to stay in whichever hotel they choose, not just a designated COVID-19 hotel, or to return home if they are a Hong Kong resident. But they're still required to undergo 4 consecutive days after that of what's being called self-monitoring. And as long as they test negative during that period every day using rapid self-testing kits, they will be allowed to return to work and to largely go about their daily business, riding public transport, going to shopping malls and so on. The only thing they will not be allowed to do is go to what the government is deeming to be high-risk venues such as bars and restaurants. And the reason they can't do that is because the government is also introducing a new colour-coded COVID-19 scheme, rather like the one in mainland China, which will mean that any new arrivals have on their government Leave Home Safe mobile phone app a new yellow code attached to their identity record, meaning they will not be allowed access to those types of venues. So overall, this is a large step towards opening up. It's being welcomed by many in the public who have at times in the last 2 years had to undergo a 21-day or 3-week mandatory COVID-19 quarantine on returning to Hong Kong. But this is still not being seen as enough by many in the business community, who say really the entire hotel quarantine system should be scrapped altogether, because they say, looking around the rest of the world, whether it's Singapore, London, New York, so many other of the world's financial centres are fully open again, and they say that for as long as Hong Kong continues with these types of restrictions, its reputation as a global finance hub remains under serious threat. Richard Kimber for WION in Hong Kong.